Hey, everybody. Welcome to Shutdown Defense. I'm Coach Johnson. Hope everybody had a safe and happy new year. Today, we are going to be doing part six of the 335 Too High Safety Defense series. If you haven't checked out any of the other videos in this series, I'm going to go ahead and link those above. Um, Today's video will be covering a look at our coverage adjustments as well as checks to 3x1. This obviously, like I've said in all the videos, isn't necessarily everything that we have in our playbook, and we would never use every single one of these in every game. Make sure that you're basing what you use for the game plan based off of what you're seeing in film from your opponents. So I'm going to go ahead and start to share my screen here. And as I've said before, our main coverage that we run here at Marquette is to read. Um, our first adjustment that we make will be an in call, telling our defensive ends that they're now going to be in a 4-eye. They are responsible for the inside gaps. Our left and right stack backer, our line and our ram, they're going to step out a little bit. Biggest question that I've got throughout the series when I've posted some of these things is, how do you deal with bubble? How do you deal with some stick routes when this ram linebacker is stacked up here inside the box? And again, if we're seeing a team, bubble's not an issue for us because, again, as you see our rules here, we'll read 2-1 between the safeties and the corners. If two runs an out, then the corner is basically going to jump the route and the safety is going to jump over top. So bubble has really not given us much of an issue at all. Every once in a while, a quick hitch route here, if we're not man-to-man on the backside. As I said before in our other videos, we are a split coverage team. So what I'm going to do here, again, I'm not going to go too much into this because we covered it a little bit in our how we set our strength and split field coverages video. I will link that above as well. Going to go ahead and pull up some clips that we have here. Um, Obviously, with the three front, we are normally bringing one guy, whether we start off with that one guy with his hand down on the ground, standing up, coming from somewhere. Again, that's all up to you. Right now, basically, this guy right here would be our right stack coming off the edge here. But again, it's more about the coverage. What you're going to see here is you're going to see two right here. He's going to go ahead and run directly out. Our safety at that point jumps over the top and picks it up, picks it off, making a really nice play here. So again, the rule for this cornerback, okay, and again, for us, when it comes to the bubble, this is where we're a little bit different. If one or two bubbles, this corner is going to take the bubble right away. Okay, he's going to take it right away. At that point, the safety over the top is basically picking up number two. As you saw up before, it said if two doesn't, running out, then we basically play quarters. We've kind of changed that up over the years, and we kind of man this up. So again, if one bubbles right away, our safety knows that basically he's taken two wherever he goes. So the bubble happens, our corner does his job, but doesn't think he's doing his job, tries to retreat, but that's okay because our safety, again, knows the rules. That cornerback was a freshman, really skilled athlete. Um, but the safety back there was a senior, so again, he knew the system a little bit better. All right, here's another clip. This goes back to our rules for our buck or stack backer who's ever out there and playing his rules, that number two does not cross his face and number three doesn't out leverage him here. You'll see number two get his world rock trying to cut across the field. Nobody comes across for free. Nobody out blocks us. It's just a mentality that we have and that we play with. Okay, here's another look. This time it's actually trips. As you see when we go our trips checks, there's a reason why we play it a certain way. Again, this is actually a trips, and it's number three bubbling. But he knows that, again, it doesn't matter who bubbles for him. He's responsible for the bubble, and he jumps the bubble. Okay. Um, our safety here does not do the best of jobs getting out over top of number one. By having this safety in the middle of the field, the safety again, his alignment isn't necessarily the greatest. Where he's at, I'd like him to be just shaded just a little bit, because again, if two runs a bubble, he's going to jump up on the bubble. Safety has over the top of number one, and then basically our other safety is tracking on number three and picking up number three. In this case, number three bubbles. This safety needs to get out over the top, and this safety here needs to get over number two, which again, that's a long run coming from right there. So again, guys, really work and focus on your alignment. Most of the time, if they bubble by three, two is going to be blocking down anyway. But again, just make sure that you're training it that way. Okay. The next adjustment that we might have if a team is giving us trouble in the passing game or to the weak side, we would just call robber or outlaw depending on left or right. Okay, robber and outlaw is telling our linebackers that we are breaking the stack either to the left or to the right. Okay, as you see in this, it looks very 3-4, very typical 3-4. We're still able to bring our blitzes without changing anything. It gives us a little bit more of a disguise, if you want to call it that way, of being able to cover. But we can still run split field coverages from this. We can run full field coverages from this. Again, it just depends on what is best to stop the other opponent's top three plays. Okay. When I go looking at film, I look to what are their top three run plays, what are their top three pass plays. Okay, that's the first thing we want to make sure that we have good alignment to. Okay, this is a in bandit. Bandit. Obviously, if any of you have seen any of the Iowa State, some St. Xavier at the high school level, if you want. But this is basically a three high safety look. This is for times when I feel like they're trying to manipulate where we put this buck. Okay. Normally, like I said, we're going to align him to what we consider the strength of their formation, based off what we've seen in film. But this bandit lets us know, again, that we're going to that three high safety look. I think a three high safety look against 2x2. If you can handle the run game with these six interior guys, again, in this, this left and right stack backer are hold and fold players. All right. They're very flat footed read, making sure that we see what happens from here. But again, from here, the coverages and the look that you create for the offense is what I think makes it unique and difficult, especially at the high school level. As you see, I know that Iowa State likes to run a lot of cover two out of this, where they'll have their corner and their corners play cover two. Their safeties basically play deep halves, and then this bandit becomes ultimately robber to the run game on either side. The other thing I think this does is it really makes you look like a six-man box, and at the same time, there is definitely seven guys because this guy is most of the time falling into the box. I think this can also help disguise whether or not you want to run cover three. Again, this buck for us is a former safety. We normally want safety types, a little bit bigger body style safety types, but still plenty fast enough to do any kind of coverage that we ask from that. And from this, I don't have it in here, but again, this could be outlaw bandit, right? Where our left stack moves over, our monster and our ram are here. Again, don't like that as much, but then this buck would know that basically he is outside contained over on this side. So in the end, it still ends up being just like a 3-4. All right, so the first check that we're going to talk about for us is what we call loaded. Okay, and by loaded, we mean that it's a 3-by-1 formation with the running back to that side. Again, our on this picture, our buck should be more heads up with this guy. I apologize for that. But basically what we're doing on this side is we are running our 2 read. The buck, again, 2 doesn't cross my face, 3 doesn't out leverage me. That's why we want him to be heads up here. If number 3 decides to go vertical, we're going to have this safety handle anything on the vertical. That way they can't throw 3 vertical and then run some kind of swing. So basically what happens is if 3 runs a vertical and the running back swings out, this running back now becomes the new number 3. The 3 becomes the 4, and now the buck is making sure that this new number 3 isn't out leveraging him, and he's going to cover him on any kind of wheel route that goes from there. All right. So this is a clip that we already showed, so I'm not going to talk about it very much. But again, this is the trips look. Just put it in on the deuce look as well, because the rules still apply. Sorry about this, guys. I wanted to give you more film today. That way you could have an idea and see how everything fits up on a hash here. Okay, 3 starts going vertical. Again, that's a sophomore linebacker. He ends up running with him on the vertical. Again, this is empty. So we are man-to-man down here. And again, you'll see that my Ram linebacker here, all right, he's man-to-man with that guy. He's got to work man-to-man. Our safety, again, just kind of playing that middle of the field. Our Mike dropping till he drops off the end of the earth. Okay. We end up getting a sack, getting a turnover against this team. Great team. They were in the quarterfinals last year, perennial powerhouse here in Illinois, 4A school, Breeze Mater Dei. Very well coached team. So here again, you see they're in an empty set. We're bringing a linebacker, or we're bringing 4 rushers. All right. Like I said, very rarely do we only bring three. So one of these guys from the stack is coming. In this case, it is our left stack on the strong side. And again, this goes back to triggering. When we see any kind of bubble movement, we're jumping that. Okay. We're being shot out of a gun, being shot out of a gun. That's part of the reason why we call this package loaded. Okay, is because we are shooting out of the gun on this package. He sees the bubble right away. Our corner jumps it, picks it off right away. Okay, quarterback sees he has man-to-man coverage. He checks, nothing there. Now, of course, the kid's raising his hand back there, but by that time, the quarterback had already looked away. Most of the time in high school, guys, you're going to get a primary read and then a secondary read, and that's it. Okay, very rarely do you face that kind of kid that can just scan the entire field and just carve you up like that. And again, sometimes the Jimmies and Joes are just better than yours, and that's the way it goes. All right. This is what we call our mix. All right. Um, Again, a lot of teams have different terminology. It's pretty standard way. This is a mix cloud from our base stack. Okay, meaning that we are playing cloud coverage over here with the corner having the flats, free safety having deep half of the field. We could play sky over here. There's numerous different things that you can do. All right. But again, we are basically eliminating number one. All right. Playing two read off of the new, what we consider one and two. All right. At this point, this linebacker would take over the job of the Bucks. Same with the Ram if he was on that side. And now his job is two doesn't cross my face, which in this case, this is the new number two. All right. Two doesn't cross my face. Three doesn't out leverage me. Running backs over there. So we feel good about that. All right. And again, we can call any of our line slants, our stunts, our blitzes, anything from that. Again, guys, these are just some adjustments and calls that we have. This is our solo call. All right. Our mix solo. Again, mix telling us that we are man to man. Sorry, this corner should be manned up on him. And we give our corners some flexibility depending on how good this guy is. Again, press up as close as you can without getting beat. All right, it happens. It does happen from time to time. This is calling our in front here. So and solo is just telling us that we are man to man here on the backside. Okay. Again, looks very similar to the last picture or even our loaded, and you'll see why. Okay. You want to keep the picture the same. This is our Outlaw mix. Again, like I said, we're playing hawk coverage to this weak side. Again, this is another way that maybe if you don't want to run loaded, if this guy's a super stud and you want to make sure that you have help over here, you can do that. But same thing, we're playing our mix here. Our outlaw call means that we're breaking our stack to the left, just like our robber meant that we were breaking the stack to the right. This may be a call that we would do if the ball was more on this hash over here. All right. Our hawk call, I talked about that in our setting the strength and basic coverage video. Again, we're going to link that above. But hawk is basically saying that in this case, we're man to man. All right. On the weak side. And this Falcon here, our free safety, is free flat foot, basically read and break off of this quarterback. So again, in this scenario, if three wants to run a post here, this Falcon is able to help out on that. All right. If they think they have a favorable matchup here, one on one, and he just barrels and beats him to the outside, well, he's got help over the top. That hawk is basically just a ball hawk playing football out there. This is what we call our special. All right. Special, as you see, it looks like mix. The I guess the picture that we're trying to put out there for the defense is the mix look, where we play our man to man here. We play two read off of 2 and 3, um, or the new 1 and 2. So again, it's just a little wrinkle, a little curveball, a little disguise, but all it is your standard basic cover three. Now, again, we're running this out of our in front. We can also run this out of our regular stack front. Okay. I'm just trying to show you some variety of the things that you can do throughout these videos. And like I said, never will we go in using every coverage and every front and every stunt and every blitz that you have. Okay. In my opinion, that's not the way to go. Find what they do and use what's in your playbook to stop their top plays. All right. Again, thanks for joining us today. I know it was a little bit longer video. I appreciate you checking it out. Make sure to like and subscribe below, and have a great day.